everybody's upset about it, we'll go back.
I'm not upset about it.
Take a vote.
I
tried to do that with school committee several times.
Yes, we've
Not working?
never been able to get there on the city council
Not
side.
to go against, I do have 3 extra copies that I had for my team.
We have to share. Superintendent.
It's gonna be on the screen.
Yeah.
Can we share? Of course. Can we share?
I guess that's the other thing.
People can decide whether Miss Howard definitely gets it. I'll say that.
We can share.
Well, we share with our next door neighbors, I guess.
Sharing is caring.
Yes.
Very good.
Notebook is all soaked right outside.
It's hard to tell how
We
many.
might not have a
She said
quorum.
3 when I asked.
We're gonna be close.
Yeah, we need 1.
We need 14.
14? Well, okay.
But he could like sneak in.
Yeah, that's okay. So,
You could sit there.
See how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
be like 11.
Close.
Close.
Table it to the end, the votes.
I think we should wait a couple minutes.
Yeah.
We're at 12, counting Peasley.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's,
It is, yeah. So let's just wait.
did you have John Haley?
I did.
Oh, here we go. All right. Coming to save the day.
Should we let Peasley know?
Probably.
He just said he wanted to vote last week because of the public hearing.
I think when we get there, I'll run down and wave them over.
So that's 5.
Okay. Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Good evening. We're going to go.
Excellent. Good.
Are we good, Charlie? Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the October 30th SBC meeting. First item on the agenda, a vote to accept the minutes from the September 18th meeting.
Let's do the roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And accept the Zoom participation.
We need a motion to vote to accept the Zoom participation.
So moved.
Now we'll do a roll call. Mr. Ball?
Mr. Ball has some.
I'm sorry, Mr. Baldwin.
He has a much deserved night off. So I'll call the roll, Mr. Chairman. City Manager Golden? Or Assistant Manager Machado?
Here.
Mike Vaughn?
Here.
Fred Bahu? Liam Skinner? Richard Underwood? Michael Fiato?
Here.
Connor Baldwin, I am here. Mark Byrne? Jim Hall?
Here.
David Peasley is here but in the other room. Mayor Samaras? Former Mayor John Leahy? Mayor Leahy.
Here.
Cut me some slack, please. Representative Elliott? Marion Manzi? Jay Mason? Maria Sheehy? Benjamin Opara?
Yeah.
Erica Harvey?
Here.
John Haley? I thought I said.
Yeah, he was on. He was on the Zoom.
Mr. Haley, are you on the Zoom?
Here.
Thank you. Paul St. Cyr. Representative Howard. Kendrick Delorbe. Janica Lang. Eliza Seek. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're good. We have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Baldwin. Next on the agenda is the presentation from Skanska and Suffolk, so Jim Dab.
Oh, the minutes, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Mr. Chair, this is Ben O'Para. Can I come in for a minute?
yes, can you give me 1 minute, Mr. O'Para? We have to vote to accept the minutes from the previous meeting.
Okay, great.
Vote to accept?
So moved?
Minutes are accepted. Mr. O'Para, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I was wondering, this is the first meeting we are having soon after the passing of the senator. Is it possible that we observe a minute of silence in his honor?
Absolutely. So at this time, we'll take a moment of silence for the recently passed Senator Kennedy. He'll be greatly missed. May he rest in peace.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, the presentation from Suffolk and Skanska, and I'll give it to Mr. Dowd.
Good evening. Mr. Regis from Suffolk will make the first part of the presentation.
We can go to the next slide. Whose computer is sharing?
It's mine.
So you need to, I think you need to advance it on your computer.
I'm sorry?
I think you need to advance it on your computer to show on the screen.
No, but the map itself.
It's showing what's on your computer screen. There we go. We can go to the next slide. That's just our title. Right? Here we go. We can start. Yeah, we can start there. This is just showing the schedule and where we're currently at. I think last meeting we discussed how we turned over the first half of Phase 3, if you want to call it that, the Building C. We're currently in Building A, which is the auditorium and East Campus north portion of the classroom spaces. Those will go through the end of December with a, call it holiday turnover. Start of January, we start Phase 4 demolition, Phase 4 construction, which is the back half of the 1920s and 1890s building. So Phase 4 will kick off come January. Next slide. Just a graphic here, that red area is the current construction area through the end of December. Like I said, that's the classrooms, auditorium, the north half of the East Campus. Next slide. And that there in red would be Phase 4, which kicks off in January. Continue next slide. That's just showing the overall campus. And one more slide. I know last school building committee we discussed elevators. I believe you had mentioned the elevators. This is a graphic here just showing 2 new elevators, which will be part of the current phase turnover at the end of the year. 1 new passenger elevator just north of the auditorium by the main entry. And then we have, actually it says new passenger elevator on the south there. That's actually a service elevator by the auditorium stage area. So there's 2 new elevators as part of this current phase turnover. Next slide. Photo here is of the auditorium. I did prep these photos for, say, last week, the original time here. So this is about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, just current status. You can see the finishes, the painting, the coffered ceilings all complete. Just some store materials on the bottom there, but we're going to be starting with finished floors and chair installation over the course of the next month. See some work going on overhead of the auditorium stage for stage lighting and stage rigging. Go next slide. Photo here just showing corridor progress. We get some protection on the terrazzo floor finishes, refinishing the existing terrazzo. Looks great. We have locker installation, whiting out the acoustic tile ceilings, permanent power lighting. We're on permanent power now for lights. Next slide. Classrooms, kind of similar to corridors, floor protection as we have the resilient flooring being installed. Again, permanent power and overhead work nearly complete. Next slide. Photos here, again, this is about 2 weeks ago now, so we've made progress since these photos, but this is the main entry, the start of the new ramp and stairs at the north on the French Street entry. Again, some progress since these photos, but yeah, next slide. That's kind of the photos of progress. We do have a punch list summary. Jim, roll right into punch list. Hey. Numbers have been updated here since last week when I pulled this data. Phase 1 open items, we have 2 open remaining items which are scheduled, 2 for Phase 2, so a total of 6 items. You go to the next slide, those are actually included. The red strike through theirs are the items that we completed between last week and now. We will be replacing some stair treads going into the gymnasium. There's an item on there for a replacement of a kickboard at the bleachers. And then some flooring touch-ups is what the 2 items in white for Phase 2 are. Go to the next slide. That's it.
Go to MBE, WBE.
All right, let's pause. Any questions on?
So the auditorium,
Sure.
when will that be ready for use?
Ready for use, we're saying March. So the substantial completion of construction activities will be the December timeline, December, January. What carries into March is essentially, I'm gonna call it IT, but it's the lighting adjustments, the balancing, the audio, the visual. So it's mostly AV at that point that'll carry through testing and programming.
All right, so graduations that are scheduled to be in there for June are all set to
No.
happen? Okay, all right. I couldn't read the punch list.
Sure.
Does that include like the cafeteria area and all that stuff?
As far as punch list being closed for Phase 1 and 2, yeah, that's the balance of punch list for Phase 1 and for Phase 2.
Okay, so you had like, what, 6 items it said?
Actually 4. There were 6. We completed 2 between last week and this week.
So does that mean, what's on the, like, on the punch list is painting and tile and flooring and all that stuff?
For Phase 3, the area that we turned over at call it 1st of September, August, there is current punch list for those activities. You'll get into paint and touch up, but for Phase 1 and 2, it's there's 2 procurement related things with stair treads and 1 for the bleachers. And then when I said flooring touch ups, there's I'm gonna call it flooring finish around some entry grates and then an expansion joint and electrical closet. So those 4 items make up the balance of Phase 1, Phase 2.
Mr. Leahy, the north wall of the cafeteria is Phase 3. That would be categorized differently.
three.
Because there was that delineation line north of that where that area was just turned over. So if
Yeah.
there's anything looking north, that would be in the Phase 3 punch list.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Thank you.
Any other question? Superintendent Skinner?
Just for clarity, do I understand that all of Phase 3 will be turned over in December? Is that correct?
With the kind of asterisk, the caveat of the auditorium. Which
Yeah,
Yes.
with the exception of the auditorium.
That is correct.
And then, so the north side of the 1922 building can be occupied by teachers beginning in January.
That is correct.
Is there? I'm wondering. We're looking for some opportunities for teachers to to move into those spaces. Is it possible that the space may be available for teachers before they go on Christmas break to move some of their items over there? No.
Yeah, I know we talked about coordinating. There's furniture moving that happens prior to Christmas break, but as far as the teacher move-in goes, I know it's active coordination with the school. We meet with the school kind of bi-weekly. I don't know as far as the timeline if that happens before Christmas break, during, or the return to
As
school.
part of move management, they will all be, as has been done with other phases, provided with boxes for their things to be moved. So when they leave at the beginning of break, they will have all their boxes packed. We're having movers come in that Friday night or Saturday morning of the last day of school to start moving everything over to the other side. As we've done in the past, depending on where we stand, if we can, on the 5th is the first day of school, if any day prior to that, we have certificate of occupancy and can allow teachers into the area, which we've coordinated with Mr. Fiato in the past, we will do that again.
So I understand, and I appreciate it that we're working together on it. One of the things I want to emphasize is that when we have turnovers, like at the end of the summer, and there's a rush to get it done before first day of school, in that case, the first day of school is what we call orientation day. So the teachers are there on their own, right? And so they can empty a box, they could wipe down a counter, or whatever it might take. The 5th of January, typically teachers will be back with students that day. So they'll just walk into the room, presumably at the same time as the students. We do have an alternate plan for that. We hope to get school committee understanding about having a delayed opening that day. But it's still going to be very tight. In other words, teachers won't have much opportunity to even unpack a box to access their materials and so on. So at the minimum, we need to make sure that it's right and that we're not saying, oh, so-and-so's materials got moved to another room and all. We just wouldn't have time for any kind of confusion.
Understandable, and I know that part of that transition to, Suffolk has discussed preparing, whether it's a presentation or a document, just knowing that that first day there'll be some unfamiliarity, knowing that people can't tour the space in advance as it's under construction and transitioning. Whether or not there's a packet, a PDF, or a presentation we can share in a common area with certain staff. But as far as letting them know the lay of the land and what this new space looks like and how to, and what we're moving into.
And we will look for them to gain access on the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th.
Thank you. I'm asking for more now, right? But if that were to occur, is there funding in the budget to compensate teachers who want to come in and do that? Some teachers will look for that kind of compensation. Some of them will volunteer. If we needed to come up with a scheme, could we compensate the teachers?
We do not have that, and I don't believe that would be reimbursable by the MSBA. We do not have that in the budget.
Thank you.
I'd like to recognize Mayor Samaras and committee member Fred Bahu. Any other questions on the Suffolk presentation? Anyone on Zoom have any questions for the Suffolk presentation?
All set.
Seeing none, we'll move to the next item on the agenda. Mr. Dowd.
You want to take this, Jim?
Can advance to the, I'm sorry, if Mr. Regis could complete the MBE-WBE portion?
If you don't mind just going to the next slide, we just have some data there. There we go. So as far as the data with MBE and WBE, for total construction minority workforce, the project has a goal of 15.3%. The current data is just under 27% at 26.9%, so we are meeting our goal for minority workforce. As far as female workforce, we have a project goal of 6.9%. Current workers for this, say this month or this data poll was 5.9%, so we are slightly under the working hours for female workforce. That is we have a call to action with that. We work with our trade partners to continue to source and pull our female workforce. Total construction, Lowell residents, there isn't a specified goal, but just the data point here, just under 9% at 8.8% of workers, Lowell residents.
Any questions on the MBE, WBE workforce update? Seeing none, we'll move to the budget.
Sean, this is Rodney Ellie. Can I just be recognized as being in attendance?
Yep.
Thank you.
Representative Elliott is here. Mr. Dowd.
Thank you. We can advance to the budget summary. As I say every month, the key number here is the construction contingency. That is at 2.3 million. As we've been reporting, we are going to exceed that number, which was the presentation on June 24th to the City Council looking for additional funds to replenish the construction contingency. Right now, my concern with how we're progressing is to keep the project running. I know with bonding and other avenues of how you have to appropriate additional funds. Looking for a vote in November, Mr. Baldwin, with the City Council, and then there's a 20-day period. And
Mr. Baldwin.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. So just to provide a little more context, the additional funding will come by virtue of an additional amending loan order. There has been some back and forth between the city, our bond counsel, the MSBA as it relates to the particular language necessary. This is not a common occurrence, and so it has been there's been some back and forth with the bond counsel and general counsel at the MSBA about exactly how the language needs to read. That has taken some time. We are in a position almost to bring that loan order forward. However, there's a legal process for authorizing loan orders. A first reading will come before the city council. That will be referred to a public hearing. After the end of the public hearing, pursuant to the statute, there's a 20-day referendum period. This applies to all loan orders. It's not special for this. So the funding doesn't become available until after the city's cleared the referendum period, and that will be when we can start spending against it. However, there is a critical need for funding in the meantime, and so that is, I think, the underlying purpose for the BRR, which Mr. Dowd will explain.
Correct. Thank you, Mr. Baldwin. So we have $2.2 million remaining. We have $7.8 million in potential change requests identified for the remainder of the project. We process typically between $300,000 and $1 million a month, which, getting to likely the first of the year with the funds being available, would get us critically close to the running out of the construction contingency. In order to avoid that situation, we've identified, excuse me, $2 million within FF&E, which is furnitures, fixtures, and equipment, that is in the budget that will not be spent until 2027. I have spoken with and emailed the MSBA with Mr. Baldwin on the correspondence and confirmed that we will, if we move money from FF&E into contingency temporarily for the next 2 months so that we don't run out, that money we won't end up having money that was reimbursable become non-reimbursable, because that's one thing we absolutely do not want to do. And we have that in writing from the MSBA, the BRR, which is later on in the presentation, budget revision request. That has been run by the MSBA, and I have an email back from them confirming that the funds will still be, that we're not making any funds that are reimbursable, non-reimbursable. On the note, on this slide, speaking of reimbursable, to date, the city has been reimbursed just over $200 million for the project from the MSBA. Moving on to the next slide. The current update on the budget. September invoices were $3.8 million. We have had $303 million invoiced to date. And moving to the next slide, which is the budget revision request number 3. In order for this to be signed by city officials, MSBA first requires that it be approved by the SBC. We will ask for a vote. If we go to the next page, the first transfer is actually for $200,000 in testing fees. We currently are under $10,000 in testing remaining. We usually run about $6,000 a month in order to avoid running out of funds within that line item. That we are asking the $200,000 from owner's contingency be transferred into the testing budget. This was counted when we went for additional funds. There are not additional funds for this because we're trying to use what funds we have within the existing budget, and we have just over $1.6 million remaining in that contingency line item. That will bring that down to $1.4 million. Moving on to the next page in the budget revision request. This is the $2 million temporary transfer of funds from FF&E. One is furnishings, the other is computer equipment. That's part of the E in the FF&E. Moving $1.5 million from furniture and $500,000 from computer equipment temporarily into construction contingency. When the loan order comes through and we have a PFA, which is Project Funding Agreement Amendment, with the MSBA, that will be in January, these funds will be replenished to the, to FF&E. I would ask if anyone has any questions, or if we could go to a vote.
Any questions before we vote on the BRR? Mayor Samaras?
Yeah, I have a question.
What guarantee do we have that we will,
I have a question.
Mr. Opara, Mayor Samaras has a question first. I'll go to you next, okay?
Thank you.
Hold on, sorry, you need a mic. It's not on. No, sorry.
we're talking about to meet the contingency fund, that the money will be temporarily taken out of books and furniture, now computers. What proof do we have, or how will you show us that all of that money will be returned as it was, so that necessary purchases can be made, and we're not put in a position where all of a sudden, well, money's vanished, and we'll only can buy half the furniture, or we can't buy all the computers. I've seen that happen in the past. I don't want to see it happen now. And you're asking me to sign off something which I don't have enough information to feel strongly about doing it, truthfully. Thank you.
If we go back on the slides, please. One forward, please. FF&E subtotal is there with BRR revisions. If, in the next meeting, the BRR will be up, once it's signed, will be updated on this. You will see a $2 million depletion in the FF&E current budget. When the loan order comes through and as funds are appropriated by the city council, after the first of the year, in one of those SBC meetings, you will see that line item with the $2 million replenished. I can point those out. I can point that out in the next SBC meeting, assuming the BRR gets approved, that it has been reduced. And then after the first of the year at an SBC meeting, you'll see on the exact formatted slide that there will be $2 million replenished.
Mr. Baldwin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to further clarify, I think that's an excellent question, Mr. Mayor. But as Mr. Dowd indicated before, there was a communication from the MSBA. I was copied on that email that did provide assurance to the city. So we have it from the MSBA in writing that a transfer pursuant to the BRR would not disqualify these charges as non-reimbursable charges. So they did confirm that in an email to the project team. I was copied on that, so we do have at least some documentation on file that this is an allowable change.
That's what I feel we have to know, that you have it on file.
Yes, we do, sir.
Because at this point, we're in a meeting, we're looking at this type of information, and in a day's notice, we're asked, we're gonna be responsible for signing.
It's a very reasonable concern.
A proper process has taken place, and that the city council can then fund properly. I understand all of that, but the thing is, I've also seen things go astray, and we've had some issues so far, in the past couple of years, and I'm concerned.
And we actually, these funds are already non-reimbursable. There's a portion of the budget that's non-reimbursable, and we purposely went after non-reimbursable funds to make sure we don't make anything non-reimbursable, which we have confirmed with the MSBA that action will not do.
Mr. Opara, you had a question?
Yeah, well, thank you, Mr. Chair. I was wondering that unless my files are mixed up, at our September meeting, we had voted on BRR number 2. And First of all, I don't see it reflected in this last report of 10/12, and I was wondering why. And there was no elaborate correspondence letter from the superintendent like this one that we're going to be voting on now. I was wondering, is it because of the encumberment of the funds,
It's still with the MSBA for signature.
or just because of MSBA restrictions? Correct.
There's a turnaround, there's a lag in the turnaround time in there. Once we get it back, the BRR back, it will be updated.
So that BRR number 2 of last month, is it still valid?
Can you repeat that, Mr. O'Para?
I was wondering if that BRR number 2 that we signed last month is still valid.
Yes, you can have several in play being signed with the MSBA.
Okay, thank you.
Superintendent Skinner, you had a question? Oh, okay, thank you. Mr. Bahu?
Looks like we're going to be asking the city council for roughly $39,800,000. And we're asking for a $2.2 million transfer tonight, correct? From the FF&E.
2 million from the FF&E, 200,000 is from contingency.
Okay,
They're coming from different locations.
$2 million from FF&E.
Correct.
With that being the case, if the city council approves only $30 million, for the sake of discussion point, would still the $2 million be reimbursed back for furniture, fixtures, and computers?
We'd have to speak with the city council as to how they want the funding dispersed. That money right now, there's a request for $14.7 million in additional contingency, and that $2 million would come out of that contingency. If in fact the amount appropriated is only $30 million, that would have to be worked out with the city council as to what portions of the request for the $39.8 million are being reduced to $30 million. So the answer is I don't know. It would depend on how the city council disperses those funds.
So there's no guarantee that we could put the $2 million back in?
If the city council does not vote for the $39.8 million, no, there is no guarantee.
Mr. Underwood?
Jim, how are we basing the the need for contingency with the rest of the work that we have? Are we just doing it based on what we spent per square footage, prior? Or where are we coming up that number, and what's the possibility
$1
that?
million is what we have, is what we have available in non-reimbursable, and it should be sufficient based on the cash flow we have with change orders monthly to get us to January. That is what it comes from. That is the number that is available and non-reimbursable within the budget.
No, I'm sorry, maybe I wasn't clear. We're looking to have enough contingency money to get us through to the final phases, to the end. With so much work still left to do in that portion of the building, what are we basing that contingency money needs on?
That was presented to the city council back on June 24th. We had two means of calculating that, and those calculations were provided to the city council on June 24th as to the rationale for the $14.7 million based on what the contingency usage was in previous phases, and specifically in previous renovation phases that we were going through.
Is there a possibility that we may not need that full amount, or?
Hopefully.
Okay, but you're confident that we won't need any additional, correct?
In renovation, nothing is absolute.
Gotcha. All right, thanks.
Any other questions before we vote on the BRR? Seeing none, we'll do a roll call vote.
Need a motion. Mr. Chairman, I'd move that we approve the BRR.
Mr. Baldwin makes the motion. So a vote for the budget revision request number 3. We'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Baldwin?
Okay. Manager Golden?
Yes.
Mike Vaughn?
Yes.
Sorry. Mr. Bahu?
No.
Liam Skinner?
Yes.
Mr. Underwood?
Yes.
Mr. Fiato?
Yes.
Mr. Baldwin, yes. Mr. Byrne? Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Captain Peasley? Mr. Samaras?
Yes.
Mr. Leahy?
Yes.
Mr. Elliott?
Yes.
Miss Manzi? Mr. Mason? Miss Sheehy? Mr. O'Para?
Yes.
Miss Harvey?
Yes.
Mr. Haley? Mr. Haley?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. St. Cyr?
Yes.
Miss Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Delorbe?
Yes.
Miss Lang? Miss Seek? The motion passes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Baldwin. We'd like to recognize Miss Harvey, too. I think we had her as, so Mrs. Harvey's here.
Okay.
So we had 16 votes. The motion passes. The BRR vote has passed. Next item on the agenda, next SBC meeting, looking at my calendar, I think it would be November 20th.
I just have one question.
Mr. Bahu?
About the sidewalks that were poured in August, where I guess they got rained on, and it looks like they're going to have to be replaced by Suffolk. Is that an added cost?
No, that's a QA/QC issue that would be addressed by Suffolk.
Okay, so Suffolk's basically gonna go ahead and redo them.
The scope of that work would not have to be, that would have to be over next summer. There's no way we can do that mid-year.
Okay, so it's just, but it's going to happen. And
That is what they have been informed to do.
terrific, thank you.
Mayor Leahy has a question.
Sure, thank you. When I was outside the high school this week cleaning up, a lot of the bike racks, they're not falling over yet, but they're pretty loose. Is that on a punch list item too? Would you know?
Mr. Dowd?
This is the first time we've been made aware of that. We will look into that. I know they modified how they were being secured, so we'll make sure that that is working out. There was a problem originally over at the gym, but they modified the process. We'll take a look at that.
Okay. All right, and I don't mean to be a wise ass about this, but if this is the first time that the bike racks are coming up to Suffolk, I mean, who's gonna go around and check everything else? It's kind of obvious outside. Nobody noticed that?
It hasn't been on a punch list and it hasn't been brought up, but we can, I mean, we
Okay.
can go through and
All
address
right.
it, obviously.
Just concerns me. Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move to the next item on the agenda, the next SBC meeting being next November 20th, 2025 in the mayor's reception room. Jim Dowd?
Next steps, obviously a push to get phase 3 completed. The sidewalk is nearly complete on French Street. You will see the Jersey barriers and fences coming down in the next 3 weeks, opening up French Street. Although that week, we will soon occupy that area with moving trucks, getting new furniture into the building starting November 17th. And there is a push for flooring on the upper floors, cleaning, and the basement, which we always knew was going to trail along last. That's coming along very well for completion in December.
Any questions on the next steps? Seeing none, I'll look for a motion to adjourn. Mr. Mayor Samaras and Mr. Underwood, so moved. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.